So, why have a fantasy map? Well, there are several reasons why you should have a fantasy map as a writer, building your story, whatnot. There's just a lot of good reasons to have that, because a lot of writers think like, well, I'm not exactly an artist. I'm not an illustrator. I wouldn't be able to do one anyway. I would have to have someone to hire to do the work for me. And yes, that is correct. If you are looking for someone to do a fantasy map for your book, for your website, to advertise your story, yes, you want all of those things. And you can very well do that. But having a map of your world, of your realms of your world, is a great assistance tool to seeing how your world is being built, where the locations of your towns are, mountains, rivers, natural resources. Why would you actually build this particular town in this particular area? And you have to actually think in a historical context of why towns, villages were built during, historical periods of time, through like the Roman Empire, medieval, age, whatnot, antiquity. There's particular purpose and reasons why people actually, where they built towns, why they built cities, why they built fortresses, why they actually build, just particular types of, my dogs are coming out the window. Particular types of amenities to suit their purposes. And it's very important to actually really be able to build up an illustration, to build up a design formula of why and where these towns are going to go, where you're putting these towns in your story. Now, a lot of people actually a lot of writers, us, we ask ourselves, well, do I need to actually draw my map before I start writing my book? Or do I need to actually just draw it right after I finish? Or actually even during, which is what I'm doing. I'm drawing my map during the process while I'm writing my book, while I'm developing my series, while I'm developing in world building, because as I'm going along, as I'm developing these characters, as I'm developing these towns from imagination, whatnot, I need to actually draw a 2D, 3D map if I can. And I'll talk about that a little later, about like what types of programs you can use for maps, whatnot. It gives me the ability to it's a great tool for just strategically placing where this is going to happen in this particular part of the story, and be able just to pinpoint, literally using like pins on my map that I've actually done with a colored pencil drawing or with a watercolor on my drawing pad, and be able just to write the towns that are in there. Why is this town called this particular name? Why is this river called this particular name? What happened at this particular time and place? And why is this river called this? The Red River of the Brother Arc or something like that. I kind of just put that together. Why are these names just kind of popping up the way they do? Well, it's very important to actually be able to work with the map, for me at least, as a writer, to work with the map while I'm writing, to be able to come up and develop the names for my town, especially languages. Languages are a very, very big resource and a strategic plan that you could actually use right along in building your map. Because if you have a very dimensional, large world like I have, and building, your magic systems in place, and you have your languages, oh boy, yeah, you're going to actually need a map in order to be able to place your names and your languages. And languages, that's actually a really big delve, video that I will be making next week. So please be joining next time I put my video up. And the languages is incredibly, is a subtextual type of thing that many fantasy novelists and writers use in their books. And it's really important it goes hand in hand with building your fantasy maps, what have you.
Of the continent of Westeros. I don't have Bravos or any one of those. So let's kind of look here, specifically starting in the south. Let's start in the south. Now this is what I would refer to as a locative map based on location, a simplistic locative map, where you can clearly see where the central power forces, neighboring neighboring noblemen, kingdoms, whatnot. It kind of gives the writer, as they're writing their story, just the reference purposes of where things are. So starting here from the bottom, this is Sunspear. I believe this is where Dorne is. And so we come up here, got Sunspear. Then we come up here, over here to the west. We have the Citadel, which is where the people go to study for the Maester Studies, program, as you will. Highgarden. And here we have King's Landing, which is the central power force, the main power force of Westeros, where the High King sits. Over here to further east is Dragonstone, the ancestry home of the Targaryens. And Casterly Rock. Over here to the west, the Eyrie, which is where Catelyn Stark's family is from. The Vale. And then here we have the twin, I think that's the central point of Westeros here. Over here, all the way over here to the west is the Iron Islands, right off the main continent of Westeros. And here in the north is Winterfell. King of the North, or Queen of the North, family, Starks, where they are seated. And far north we have the Wall, and further north of that is where the Wildlings are, and Army of the Dead, whatnot. So this actually gives you, the locative map gives you an idea of what, you can actually be able to simply construct, use, choosing what type of program you want to use, and I'm going to go over those in just a minute. What websites you can actually get these particular type of maps to make on your own, or if you're an artist or an illustrator like myself, you can actually just kind of can draw or illustrate one of these up on your own, which I will be showing you one of the maps that I am presently working on. Simplistic locative map. This is not a so I'm just going to kind of go over here and do this. Locative map. This is considered a locative map. Places of intrigue. Control, pieces of intrigue, power seats, reference points. Where one place is in regards to another. Okay. So here we are with my map. This is the map that I made on my 18 by 24 drawing pad with color pencils. This is a map from my series that I am presently working on. It's a epic fantasy series. It is quite layered. It is quite complex. And this is just one of the realms. This is actually just a realm of, from one of the, oh my goodness, the prologue stories, the prologue short stories. This is not even like the main series. This is from my novella that I am working on that is actually of the same world, the same series, but it actually happened at a different time period. And I will tell you, like I said before, this is a very complex fantasy series, and that's all I can tell you. So, it's going to give you the gist of what you're looking at here. This is one of my fantasy maps that I did with a color pencil drawing. And yes, this is actually more or less going to be most definitely historical context map. And as I haven't labeled it yet. There's no names. And because I will be making another map. I actually might even just save this and actually kind of filter it through Photoshop, copy it, and that way I can or to another app that I'm using. That way I can just maybe neatly put in some beautiful fonts for labeling the locative, names, kingdoms, mountains, rivers, streams. Because I'm really into typography as well, and I really love the word form just to kind of be really potently apparent when looking at the map. So, like I said before, if you are not, this is I'm an artist. I'm an artist, illustrator, writer, and I also am a musician as well. But I just kind of. I'm the boss lady. I'm the independent boss lady. I just want things the way I want them, and I just happen to do those things and to get those things done, and I don't have to outsource for anything. Or maybe editing. Actually, I do. I definitely need a team of helping with, everyone needs a team to help you. You have to have help. If you're really going to succeed, and, it takes a community just to make your dreams come true, essentially. It really does. And so if you are not if you're a writer, you're an author, I don't want to get into this art stuff. I'm not an artist. I don't want to I don't want to mess it up. I don't want it looking all I just don't want to go there. By all means, this is something that you definitely want to outsource for. And looking for an artist that can do this for you. If you want a hand-drawn map, like the one that you see before you can do that. If you want a digital map, like the ones I'm actually getting ready to talk to you about online, please, by all means, get that done. And so a lot of the, I love the feel of paper maps. I have since I was just a kid. I love the aestheticness that it brings. And I think this one came out quite, pleasant, good, just to kind of get one indication. And when you're actually drawing borders, to me, it's just something that it's just very it's just something that when you look at maps enough and you see the continents of our world, it kind of gives you an indication of what to do and just kind of give you this, free flowing type of cool mark making on the base of, here, you got this, the kind of the curvature. Put this here. Curvature lines that go along like this. It's just something that's just, organic mark making. But you don't have to actually get to, you don't have to have a master's degree in art to do. So, yeah, yeah, and so it's just something just to kind of give me here it is. And now if you want something that's a little bit more like, hey, that's going to take a long time to do, or if you are hiring out for someone to do this for you, if you want to do a digital map and you want your hands on it, you want to be able just to kind of put it together on your own, and it's not going to take too much of a learning curve to do. There, you can definitely go do those drag and drop maps that are quite easy to do, and I have done them, and I'll be listing them. I'll be talking about them in just a few minutes. Is there anything that I want to talk to about? It kind of gives you an idea of what you can create if you decide you want to create a map on your own. And a good resource if you want to do this, just take out like a road map, take out your earth map by Rand and McNally. Remember those? Rand McNally is still around, I guess. Rand McNally has made many beautiful maps in the past decades. And take out a Rand McNally map and just, practicing. You can either practice tracing or just kind of so you can get the flow going, the trajectory going of what direction you want to go, what type of art aesthetic direction you want to go, or just take it out and just look at it just to give an idea and just start drawing on your own. Seriously. Okay. Now, moving on from our locative map, here we have our, which I would actually call this a historical context map. And this is Middle-earth, J.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. And I'm going to tell you for our historical context map, it can serve two purposes. It can serve from a historical reference point of view, and also it can serve as a locative map as well. And, I like this map. I'm really, this is the type of map for me, for my particular fantasy series that I'm building. And it just serves so many purposes, very dual purpose or more of a multi-purpose map, because there's so many things that you can get out of this and do with this. So I'm not going to go to every single point of the map. We all know Lord of the Rings. Most of us, especially us fantasy nerds, we do. And, just to kind of give you we have Mordor, Gondor, Rohan, and there's other areas here as well that, and as you can see here from the names, the locative names that are on the map, you can see it's pretty much telling you, give you an indication which age this is from. If you are, anything about Lord of the Rings, you know about there's like in total four ages. And for the historical context maps, which this is it, this is more or less, from what I see, from the names alone, it's indicating to you, implying to you that this is in the third age. We have Gondor, we have Rohan, we have Mordor, we have Eredor, we have, all of the, the Hobbitans over here to the far west, the Shire, it's just, we know by looking at all of these names that this particular story that we are about to read, where this novel is taking place, it is the third age. This is the Lord of the Rings. This is Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, The Return of the King. This is what this map is taking particular part of this map. And this is a historical map. Historical maps are a wonderful thing because what it can do, you're just not having this one flat, simplistic, locative map. You have this, if you want to do a particular fantasy series that takes across a span of like 3,000 to 4,000 years, it's always good to have like 3 or 4 or 5 maps, not counting the digital maps, so the 3D maps that you can actually definitely include as a resourceful tool. And yes, I urge you to do that as well. Using a 3D map it's just incredible. Especially as you are building your story with your Bible, background stories and that sort of thing. So yeah, with your historical context map, you are able to, one map is not going to be enough for you. You are going to have, needing like building 1, 2, 3, 4 maps, because I will tell you, for example, where Rohan is, in the Third Age, as you can see here, is not where 2,000 years ago, Rohan wasn't here. Something entirely different was here. A locative name, and the name that actually goes with the location of Rohan. It actually comes from an ancestral significant meaning of who first landed here. What are the first people who came here? What did they do in order to actually for that name to come about? 2,000 years ago, there was a completely different name of the first or the second age. What was here? It was during monolithic age of Middle Earth. It was a completely different name. So that's why it's incredibly important that as you're building up your backstories in your Bible, your fantasy Bible, I will be making a video for that upcoming. Please be on the lookout for that. As you're making your Bible, your backstories of the time of antiquity, the first creations of your fantasy realm world, it is very important to have those maps handy, whether you're going to be doing it on the website like Anvil or Campfire. And there's some other map websites that are coming pretty handy, and they are free. And I will be listing those later in the video. What happened? Was there a particular significance occurrence that happened from one age to the other, and where these names are veered from? Gondor, Mordor. So when you are building your worlds, when you're building your stories, it's not, I'm telling you, the map serves a significant purpose, because when you're putting these wonderful names on the map, like Mordor, Mordor here, Gondor, I'll take that off. I have to kind of, Gondor, Gondor here. It's telling you something that happened there. And it's this multifaceted subtextual meaning behind Gondor. Subtextual meaning behind Mordor. It's, something that is really important, that you must really looking at your world building in a layered form. It is, and if you look at the Bible, how it starts from the Old Testament, from Genesis, it's a layered form. Looking at a lot of like Tolkien's stories, from the Silmarillion, the short stories that, and his appendix stories, from Lord of the Rings, it's this layered familial lineage of, ties. They're just not these like facsimiles, copies of like flat storytelling. And that's why the map is important for building your fantasy stories. Oh, excuse me. So going into this, I'm just going to actually go through these websites that I wanted to show you about fantasy maps that you could actually make on your own through, free-based websites. Some of them are free, some of them are not. Some of them you do have to pay for. Some of them have a trial period just to kind of give you like just a peek in to see what the, what their
the websites are about and what you're able to do in building your fantasy maps. So what type of fantasy maps you can build. Now, this one I actually don't mind this one. This is, I was kind of just, I clicked on this website to see what it was about, but it wasn't what I'm looking for. It's like mind maps. It has nothing to do with what we're looking for. So so what I'm about to show you are maps that are really incredible. And a couple of them are actually, they're new. I've been on the lookout for just open base or open source fantasy maps that like my kids and I can use. My kids are really big gamers, and some of them, like I said, have come about in the past 6 months. They're free. I haven't seen them before, and I just want to kind of show you what I have found, and what you're able to do if you're not an artist, you're not an illustrator, you just don't want to bother with maybe paying someone to do it. You have a really good sense of head direction of what you want to do. So here's the first one that we're coming up with: Incarnate. Incarnate, actually, I am familiar with. I have tried Incarnate. It's a really nice layout, nice format, gorgeous RPG. What you're getting here is, now this is actually a historical type of context of maps. You have different types of maps that you can go into it. And aesthetically pleasing. I mean, you're going to get some gorgeous maps. The palette, color of these maps are just really just luxurious. There's rich, beautiful, rich, potent colors that you're getting here. So you have your battle maps that you're able to use. You have your interior maps. Now, like I said before, I have used this map in the past, and they do have a free base version where it is, a little bit limited. But then you have like a paid version where you have high quality art. There's regular updates, interface, and with the paid version, I believe that you can just really have just a different variety and just really diversify your map collection, whether it be 3D, whether it be 2D, a regional map. You have your town map. You have your culture map. You have a cultural map where particular different types of races live. And for example, we have this, which so you can see how this regional map, beautiful font, beautiful typography. So I believe here they've updated their site, because when I was here a year ago, they didn't have a lot of this stuff. So Incarnate has really done a great deal of stuff since I've kind of been away for them. But this is, just to kind of, wow. I mean, oh my gosh, I could probably stay here all day. He's got some really cool stuff here. So Incarnate, really good one to look into. Like I said, you have the free version, you have a pro version. If you actually are building a fantasy series that is a large world, I would suggest you go in with the pro version. Now, here's our next one. It's coming up. worldanvil.com. I'm pretty sure everyone has at least heard of World Anvil. If you are a fantasy, a novelist, a writer, even a gamer, if you are an illustrator, you know about World Anvil. And World Anvil is a really awesome program where you can actually go in, use it for story building, use it for a Bible codex, for your fantasy story, your series, even for your game, for building your game. And they do have the options of a free or a pro version. For a free version, I will tell you that yes, you do, you're able to use that and you get a lot of cool stuff. However, that said, please, if you're working on your world, building your characters, your maps, whatnot, and you don't want anyone knowing about your information or even perhaps seeing it, because if it's on there for a free paid for a free version, people will see your stuff. It is
open to the public. So just keep that in mind. You want to probably get a pro version. Now, coming up here to, this is a brand new one that worldspinner.com. I've never seen this before. This is a new one. Going into it, I'm actually, I'm impressed. This is another alternative, you know, making a map, finding an adventure. This actually looks a little bit more like Incarnate. You're able just to go through making up your, you know, you can try it for free. And trying it for free, it's more or less going to be a trial version to it. So you more likely or want to kind of, you know, register for a pro version. You're able to do a lot of things in here, like coins, plate tectonics, getting more in depth of different types of like maps, like Incarnate had. It's a good alternative to Incarnate. You know, you have your war maps, you have your you know, your race maps, you have your regional maps, you have your historical context maps. Not only with Worldspinner, I think you can also make like in World Anvil, you're able to build have your Bible codex. Again, you probably want to do that for a paying version. So, I mean, that's a great alternative. Seriously, I could probably go into these like websites and just like more likely stay all day, just stay for a long period of time and just deciphering and through, you know, gosh, seriously, if I had like a pro version to this, that would be my nucleus battle front, you know, station. Now going into, what is this? This is a 2-minute tabletop map. Okay, so yeah, this is an asset store where you're able, if you are a map maker, if you make digital maps, you're able to actually go to that website and to you can sell map assets, digital map assets. I mean, if you are a digital artist, I mean, this is something that would be like a really nice side hustle, or it's an extra income stream. Here we go with our fantasy map, Get Cube. This is actually an open source. This actually is one of our open source maps where you can just go on there. You don't have to pay, but I will tell you, yes, like, you know, initially when you come here and you look at this map, this gorgeous map, like it's a really nice, pretty map. But I will tell you, it is open source. It, you know, it has all the open source types of characteristics to it, you know, but you're able to style it, option it out, have options, you have tools, you can change the dimensions, whatnot. It's not like a drag and drop what you're going to get at Incarnate or the spinning tools, the other ones, like, or World Anvil. It's not a drag and drop map. But it's there, and it's just going to be a little bit meticulous and yeah. But so far, so good. For joining me on this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and click the like button and notification, and go ahead and subscribe and share this video. If it's been a wonderful help to you and assistantship to you in any way. I should have said this all in the beginning, but you know, I kind of forgot so. But thanks so much for watching, and yes, I hope to actually see you on my social media websites, on my Twitter, and Instagram as well. And there's also some other things that are kind of coming out of the woodwork. Also, I have my link below where you can actually find me on my newsletter, my monthly newsletter for you writers out there, just to kind of see what I'm up to, what I'm working on in the background, for anything of my projects that are coming up, so you will be able to know first and foremost. Signing up for that free newsletter always keeps you into the loop of things. It's always very helpful. So I thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a wonderful, blessed weekend, and much love, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi guys. Yes, thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and
push that notification button so that you'll be able to watch my videos when they come in. And like this video and share. Thanks so much for just joining me for all things fantasy. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.